much for joining. So we're continuing with Srimad Bhagavatam study session. Okay, so we are continuing with A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada's commentary. Of course, we are also in between, we are seeing the commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Okay. My humble obeisances to His Holiness Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and all the acharyas in the Sampradaya. And my humble obeisances to all of you on Zoom, on YouTube, and on Facebook. I'd like to give a brief of this Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakuras also. Okay. Because it's really wonderful, like this commentary. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to read the verse, okay, once. So this is the first canto, chapter 1, text 1. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadasya Yatonvayad Itaratascha Vignaswarat Tene Brahmakshu Tejo Vari Mridam Yatha Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Mrisha Dhamna Svena Sada Nirasta Kuvakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. This first verse, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura, he took it for 3 months. I don't know, for 3 months or 6 months. Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he once mentioned about this. How is Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura, he spent so many months on this first verse, it's so important and it's so vast, you can go on talking about it. That's why I'm also addicted. Okay. So I already told you yesterday, when I completed the commentary of Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, let me also add some layers of, explanations as given by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So for this first verse, you can give different explanations and you can give different comparisons. Okay. Okay. So the first explanation, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, in the beginning of the work, see, actually now we are discussing about A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada's Bhagavatam commentary. But in between, I'm also adding this, okay? Or it's nice, the more knowledge we get. So these are the additions in that Bhagavatam, okay? So actually, I think somebody asked me this question, why when Srila Vyasadeva wrote this Bhagavatam, what is this, all this, extra? So these, the acharyas, they have given more elaborate details on that Bhagavatam itself, compiled by Srila Vyasadeva. Okay, different, various acharyas, like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, Jiva Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Vallabhacharya, okay, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, all these people, even for that matter, Baladev Vidyabhushan, so many people, because Bhagavatam is such a wonderful, scripture. It's cannot be compared to any other scripture. It is the Amal Puran, okay? It is the spotless Purana. And even the 10th canto, there are so giving 5 explanations. So the first explanation, in the beginning of the work, the author Krishna Dvaipayana, the crown jewel among acharyas, invokes auspiciousness with meditation on his cherished deity. Okay, so just a moment. Okay. So,
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Wonderful. Mataji, so nice. What a wonderful person you are. Thank you, Mataji. So happy. All of you are
Thank you.
wonderful, really motivating me. Okay. So, the author, Krishna Dvaipayana, in the beginning of the work, the author Sri Krishna Dvaipayana, the crown jewel among acharyas, invokes auspiciousness with meditation on his cherished deity. So, Mataji, yesterday I just finished the commentary of Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Okay, so in
Yeah.
I'm adding more points. Like, now I'm like already I took this verse when I took Sarartha Darshini, but I would still like to add his commentary here also a little bit more because we can get more knowledge. Like, and it's
Mataji, your voice looking heard very differently.
very low, or is it audible, Mataji?
Something like keech, something like
Oh,
that.
wait
Something
one
in
second.
disturbance.
I think somebody is okay. I will yeah. Okay. Now it's okay. You can send me a chat. Is it okay, Mataji? Now just tell me okay.
I don't know whether I'm only hearing like this. You just check with Krishnan Prabhuji and Dayasila Prabhuji too. How is your voice?
I just unmute them and ask them. Can you unmute yourself, Dayasinda Prabhuji and Krishnan Prabhuji, and tell me how is my voice? Is it okay, or is there a lot of disturbance? Can you unmute yourselves and tell me?
Sound low sound.
No, low sound, even now?
Sound.
Even now?
I-
Keech keech, huh?
Ah,
Some keech noise is coming actually when you're talking. No, whether my voice is clear, Mataji?
All of your voices are clear. My voice is
Your
audible.
your voice is like no keech.
yes.
Oh, what is the problem?
Totally different voice actually.
Arrange Mataji.
Yeah. Why? What happened to your voices? All of you, it's very low for me
Your
now.
voice not is not clear, Mataji.
What? You can't hear my voice at all?
No, I am not clear.
I am not clear. Oh, everybody's feeling the same thing. Okay, now also it's like that.
Yes, Mataji.
Wait one second, I'll change it.
One second. Yeah, now it's good, Mataji. Now you go back to normal.
Now it's okay.
Yes. Now it is normal.
I took off the mic. Is it okay now? I took
Yeah,
off.
I think the earlier one was very keech voice.
Okay, I took off the mic now. So I'll talk without
Now
the
it
mic.
is clear. Yeah.
One second, let me put on the mic and 1 second, we'll check once again.
How is it now, Mataji?
Great.
It's
Now
okay?
normal. Yeah. Normal.
Oh, thank you so much. I again put on the microphone because it's going on YouTube also, no? So
Just voice, increase your voice.
yeah, now
Volume.
is it okay, Mataji?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Okay, good. So whenever you feel a drop in the voice, please let me know.
Okay.
So this Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura is giving various explanations for this first verse. So the first explanation, in this first explanation, at the beginning of the work, Sri Krishna Dvaipayana, the crown jewel among acharyas, he invokes auspiciousness with meditation on his cherished deity. Okay, so that is what like is meditating on his deity at the start of this work to make this work auspicious. Is compilation of Srimad Bhagavatam should be auspicious. So, Param means to the highest limit. Satyam means the supreme Lord who exists in all time and space. Dhimahi means let's worship or meditate on. So we have Satyam Param Dhimahi in the last line, right? So, one second, I'll take the. So, in the last line, the last three words are Satyam Param Dhimahi. So this Satyam means the supreme Lord who exists in all time and space. Param means the highest limit, and Dhimahi means let's meditate on. So let us meditate, he's telling. So the plural here means all the jivas continuing in time and space. Any doubts, you people can stop and ask me at that time itself, okay? Because I'm continuously taking, that's why. And these are all little bit like it's not very tough, but because it's new, like so you might people might feel little bit but you people have started with the Sarata Darshan itself, so it should not be very tough, but just any doubt you can always ask. So here the plural, let us meditate, means let us means all the jivas is taking, okay, continuing in time and space as part of one's own group, and indicates teaching them meditation by these instructions. So he's telling all the jivas, let's meditate on the Supreme Lord. Okay. Who is the high to the Param means he is the highest, he's got his powers to the highest limit. And thus indicates teaching the meditation by these instructions. So the meaning of the sutra, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, Vedanta Sutra 1.1.1. So I already told you yesterday, the Brahma Sutras or the Vedanta Sutras were also compiled by Srila Vyasadeva. And after that, okay, by the advice of Srila Vyasa, Narada Muni, his spiritual master, he compiled this Srimad Bhagavatam. The Srimad Bhagavatam, because he himself compiled, because Vyasadeva, after writing Vedanta Sutra, he compiled Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is a commentary on the Vedanta Sutras. Okay, don't get worried. What I'll explain that. Vedanta Sutras are in the sutra forms. Okay, all the whatever is written is in the sutra form. Sutras are very condensed sentences. So it's a very difficult to understand. Okay. So if we zip a file, what will happen? It is like very tiny, like, it's zipped like. So like this is a very condensed form, this Vedanta Sutras, these sutras. So since it's very difficult to understand, so on the advice of Narada Muni, Vyasadeva wrote a commentary. Means he gave an explanation of the Vedanta Sutras in the Srimad Bhagavatam. That is why Srimad Bhagavatam is called a natural commentary on the Brahma Sutras or the Vedanta Sutras. Okay. I hope all of you it's clear. So this in this Vedanta Sutra, the first sutra is Athato Brahma Jigyasa. What does it mean? It's indicated from this, since meditation alone is the result of inquiry. That is the meaning of this sutra. So when you inquire about something, what do? Then you meditate on that. Okay, so inquiry alone, meditation alone is the result of inquiry. So suppose you're inquiring about God. You are inquiring about God. So what happens then after that, when you get all the details about Krishna and everything, because you're listening to Bhagavatam, you're studying Bhagavatam, you're reading so many Vedanta Sutras, so many other scriptures, the Bhakti scriptures, and you're coming to the conclusion that Krishna has got a form. He's so beautiful. He's blue-colored boy who is very handsome and attractive, and he's got black curly hair and all that. Like, he wears a yellow cloth, which is shining like what do you compare with? It's golden. Okay, golden in color, and it's full of like sparkling gold, like, and he's got all nice, wonderful jewelry, all this as a coward boy. He's so well dressed, wearing the forest flowers, a garland, forest flower garland, and all beautifully. He's so very well decorated, like, by his mother, and of course his sakas, and later on even the gopis also take dress him up. So make garlands for him and all that, and nicely using the minerals from the Govardhana hill, and they are just decorating his face, like, and his body and his hands and feet, everything. So it's very attractive. Krishna means very attractive. Okay, so once you come to know all this information by reading or hearing the scriptures, what do? Okay, you meditate on that form of the Lord Krishna. Okay, that's what we have to do. So here I'm telling Krishna, but it is here generally they're telling meditate on that Supreme Lord. Generally is telling Bhagwan. Okay. So the Lord's supreme power is indicated in this verse with Janma Dasya Yataha. You see, I'll go slowly on this first verse, please, because I want you people to really relish this because it's got the essence of the entire Bhagavatam. Okay. The Lord's supreme power is, even if it takes a long time, no matter. Don't worry, doesn't matter. The Lord's supreme power is indicated in this verse with Janma Dasya Yataha. Vedanta Sutra 1.1.2. Let us meditate on the Supreme Lord. So here the Lord's supreme power is indicated. What is the Lord's supreme power? Janma Dasya Yataha. That is the starting of the first shloka of the first chapter of the first canto. It says, Janma Dasya Yaton Vayad Itaratas Chateshva Abhigna Swarat, means Janma Dasya. It's starting with Janma Dasya Yataha, which is also the Vedanta Sutra, the second sutra of the Vedanta Sutra. Okay. So, what does it mean? It says, let us meditate on the Supreme Lord, from whom Yataha means arises creation, maintenance, and destruction. Janmadi. Janma means creation. Adi means maintenance and destruction. Should they meditate on time which causes all this? So that's a question being asked. No. The Lord is the cause because He is the material and efficient cause. Anvayad itaratascha. Anvayad itarata. Anvaya and its opposite can mean Anvaya Vyatireka, which in talking about causality can refer to cause and effect. So here, no, we are not talking about the time factor. We are talking about the Lord. He is the cause because He is the material and efficient cause. So that's what is by the phrase Anvayad Itaratascha. Okay. So in the first line, you get this Janma Dasya Yaton Vayad Itaratascha. So, Anvayad Itaratascha. So, this Anvayad Itarata, this phrase, there is so many meanings for this. Okay, the various meanings. Let us see. I already explained this yesterday, but I would like to repeat it again so that it will be more clearer. So, Anvayad Itarata means Anvaya and its opposite. Can mean Anvaya Vyatireka. Vyatireka means opposite. So, this can also be told as Anvaya Vyatireka, which in talking, my voice is audible. Is it okay? Okay. Can mean Anvaya Vyatireka, which
Yes,
in talking
Mataji,
about
clear only.
Thanks, Mataji. Which in talking about causality can refer to cause and effect. So, what is the opposite of cause? Effect. So, okay, when you have something as a cause, you need to get something as an effect. Okay, so if, like, somebody is beating somebody with a stick, the beating is the cause. What will happen? There's a redness, there's some bruise that is happening on the skin of the body of the person who's beaten. So bruise is the effect of being beaten, the cause. Okay, so the Lord is in relation to the universe, is like the earth, with which as a material cause is inherent in the pot, and the pot which as an effect is inherent in its material cause, the earth. So if you take a pot, what is the cause of the pot? It's the earth, okay, the clay. Similarly, what is the effect of that earth? Like, it is the you're making this pot, which is the effect. Okay, so the potter is using this clay or the earth, and then is making the pot. Okay, the clay is the cause, effect is the pot. Okay, the Lord in relation to the universe is like the earth, which as a material cause is inherent in the pot, and the pot as an effect is inherent in its material cause, the earth. I hope all of you understood. Okay, so the Lord in relation to the universe is like the earth, which as a material cause, because this is the main thing, the cause. The earth is the cause for the pot. Like that, the Lord is the cause of the universe being manifested. Okay, you understood? And yeah, thus this phrase means that the Lord is the material cause, upadana karana. The word cha indicates the efficient cause, nimitta karana, which is time, because, okay, the Lord takes the form of time to influence Prakriti. Thus, the Lord is the cause, Janma, by being the material, Anvayat Itarata, and the efficient cause, Cha. So, now, thus the phrase meant that the Lord is the material cause. All of you understood. Then, the word Cha indicates the efficient cause, that is a Nimitta Karana, which is time, because the Lord takes the form of time to influence Prakriti. Okay, at a certain point of time, he influences Prakriti. And at a certain point of time, that is, it gets agitated and the creation starts taking place. And similarly, there is maintenance. And at a certain point in time, there is the destruction of the entire universe. So the time factor is responsible for all these actions, thus, which influences Prakriti. So thus the Lord takes the form of time to influence Prakriti. When we read in the Bhagavad Gita, we will understand that Lord says, I am time. Okay. So he's taking the form of time to influence Prakriti. Thus the Lord is the cause, Janma, by being the material, Anvayat Itarata, and the efficient cause, Cha. So the Lord is the cause, here cause, Janma. Okay. By being the cause is like, they're telling it as Janma. By being the material, Anvayat Itarata, and the efficient cause, Cha, or the word Anvaya meaning inclusion or entrance into. So now here Anvaya is got the meaning, different meaning. Inclusion or entrance into can also indicate that the Lord is the cause and destruction, Janmadi, because everything enters the Lord. The universes enter into the Lord at destruction and issues from him at the time of creation. So as I already mentioned to you, when Mahavishnu, from Mahavishnu, body, the pose of his body, all the jivas are injected into the material world. Okay, at the time of creation. Then, when the Lord glances, there is the agitation of the Mahat Tattva and all the subtle elements, they combine with each other, and slowly the secondary creation takes place. Okay, by Brahma. Okay, Brahma is responsible for Visarga, that is a secondary creation, whereas the Supreme Lord is responsible for the Sarga, the primary creation. Okay, so so here Anvaya means inclusion or entrance into, can also indicate that the Lord is a cause and destruction, because everything enters the Lord at the time of destruction. Okay, everything enters the Lord. The universes enter into the Lord at destruction and issues from him at the time of creation. Okay. Itarata then indicates divisions of matter taking place at the level of secondary creation outside the Lord. So Itarata then indicates divisions of matter taking place at the level of secondary creation outside the Lord. Okay. So from the Lord, the jivas are injected into the Prakriti. Okay. So now Itarata. So Itarata means then divisions of matter taking place at the level of secondary creation outside the Lord. It's not in the Lord. Itarata means outside the Lord. That means that the Lord is the basis, Adhishtatra Karana, of the whole universe, just as water is the basis of the earth. Okay. So the Lord is the basis of the whole universe. How? Just as water is the basis of the earth. Okay. In the earth, like, we have so much of water, and fire is the basis of water. So what is the basis of fire? It is of water. It is the fire. Thus, the Lord is that person from whom creation, maintenance, and destruction takes place, because everything is contained within him, and everything in the secondary creation is outside him, but based on him, Itarata. So, in the primary creation, is the person from whom creation, maintenance, and destruction takes place, because everything is contained within him. That is Anvayat. And everything in the secondary creation is outside him, but based on him, Itarata. Okay. Or the word Anvaya, meaning sequence, can mean that the Lord is creation and destruction, Janmadi, because he is the whole sequence of creation, maintenance, and destruction. Okay. So here Anvaya is taking the meaning of sequence. So here this in creation, maintenance, and destruction is taking place in a sequential order. The Lord enters into the universe as the final agent of causality in the process of creation. He enters the universe as the final agent for dispensing results of action in maintenance. And he enters the universe in the form of Shiva as the final agent in the process of destruction. So here, the Lord enters into the universe as the final agent of causality. Okay, in the process of creation. Only when the Lord enters and glances at the universe, it starts agitating, and then the different creations take place. He enters the universe as the a final agent for dispensing results of action in maintenance. Okay. So that is the Vishnu. Okay. These details we'll go through later because it's a little bit complicated for you to understand now. So it is a portion of this, like, the Lord who is taking the form of Vishnu and is taking care of the maintenance. Okay. And he enters the universe in the form of Shiva as the final agent in the process of destruction. So on his then from the Lord, Shiva also comes, like, as Shambhu, so he enters the universe in the form of Shiva as the final agent in the process of destruction. All this we can go into further detail later on. Now you understand this much because this itself is too complex. Okay. In the beginning stages, later you will understand, not to worry. So it's simple, very simple. The Lord enters into the universe as the final agent of causality in the process of creation. Okay. So only when he comes and when he glances at the material world, Prakriti, at the Mahat Tattva, okay, then it starts combining with each other. Okay, then the creation starts taking place. So then he enters as the final agent for dispensing results of action in maintenance. And he enters the universe in the form of for maintenance, it's Vishnu. And he enters the universe in the form of Shiva as the final agent in the process of destruction. Okay, so everything is an expansion of Krishna only. So they're all Bhagwan. In this explanation, it should be understood that the cause includes within itself the effect, and the Lord as cause enters into the effect, the universe. So you should clearly understand here that the cause includes within itself the effect. Okay. So the cause is including within itself the effect, and the Lord as cause enters into the effect, the universe. The universe is the effect. Okay. So the Lord enters the universe. He is the cause, but he enters the universe. Thus, the Lord is identified as creation, maintenance, and destruction of the universe. The universe itself is kept at a distance from the Swarupa of the Lord by the use of the descriptive word Itarata, different. But the Lord, though he is coming to the material world, he is kept at a distance from the Swarupa of the Lord. The universe, the universe is kept at a distance from the Swarupa of the Lord. That is the internal Shakti of the Lord by the use of the descriptive word Itaratha, different. Since the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the universe is different from the Lord's Swarupa Shakti. So the internal Shakti of the Lord is the Swarupa Shakti of the Lord. Swarupa means his own internal Shakti. So this material universe is kept at a distance from the internal energy of the Lord by the use of the descriptive word Itaratha, so different. Since the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the universe is different from the Lord's Swarupa Shakti. Okay, so these are all the creation aspect. It is very different from the Lord's Swarupa Shakti, internal energy. Whereas this creation is the external energy, Bahiranga Shakti. Cha indicates it's non-different from the Maya Shakti. Thus, Anvayad Itarata Cha means the Lord is the creator, maintainer, and destroyer, since it's non-different from the universe in its phases of creation, maintenance, and destruction. But this universe is different from his Swarupa and non-different from his Maya Shakti. So here, Cha indicates it's non-different from the Maya Shakti. Thus, so now they're talking about the universe. So this universe is non-different from the Maya Shakti. Thus, Anvayat Itarata Cha means the Lord is the creator, maintainer, and destroyer, since it's non-different from the universe in its phases of creation, maintenance, and destruction. But this universe is different from its Swarupa and non-different from its Maya Shakti. Thus, in the first line, the two Vedanta Sutras, Janmad Asya 1.1.2 and Tattu Samanvayat 1.1.3 have been spoken. Let us see those. The usual meaning of this is that the Lord is the creator is known from the confirming statements of scripture. However, here it can be also mean the Lord is the creator because he is the material and efficient cause. Okay, this is very important. Thus, in the first line, the two Vedanta Sutras, Janma Dasya 1.1.2, Tattu Samanvayat 1.1.3 have been spoken. But if the Supreme Lord is said to be the material cause of the universe, he should be devoid of change. But if the Supreme Lord is said to be the material cause of the universe, he should be devoid of change. Okay. So, therefore, should one not say that the Supreme Lord is the efficient and Prakriti is the material cause? No. Okay. It is not so. Please focus here. The Shruti says, Ya Sarvagna Sarvavid. He who is omniscient knows all. Mundaka Upanishad 2.2.7. Sa Ikshata Lokan. He glanced over the worlds and then created Aitareya Upanishad. And Tad Aikshata Bahushyam Prajayeya. He glanced and said, let me be many, let me create progeny. Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.3. Here, what is being told is, so the Lord, he just glanced over the worlds and then he created. So what did he do? He said, Tad Aikshata Bahusyam Prajayeya. He glanced and said, let me be many, let me create progeny. Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.3. These verses indicate that only a conscious entity is the cause of the universe. And thus the Lord is both the material cause and the efficient cause of the universe. So now all these Upanishads, Mundaka Upanishad, Aitareya Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, all this, it coming to the conclusion that let me be many. No. It's telling the Lord is omniscient and he knows all. Okay. He glanced over the worlds and then created. And Tad Aikshata Bahusyam Prajayeya. He glanced and said, let me be many, let me create progeny. Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.3. These verses indicate that only a conscious entity is the cause of the universe, and thus the Lord is both the material cause and the efficient cause of the universe. So now, the Lord, he glanced at the material universe and he said, let me be many. So he's having this desire to create. Let me create progeny. Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.3. These verses indicate that only a conscious entity is the cause of the universe. And thus the Lord is both the material cause and the efficient cause of the universe. So let me be many. The Lord is desiring universe. And let me create progeny. Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.3. These verses indicate that only a conscious entity is the cause of the universe, and thus the Lord is both the material cause and the efficient cause of the universe. So here they're telling this Prakriti, it does not have any consciousness because it is jada, okay, lifeless. But the Supreme Lord, he has got a form and is conscious. So if one needs to be a cause of something, then that person, he has to be a person. Okay. These verses indicate that only a conscious entity is the cause of the universe. So it has to be conscious. Okay. It's something which is a cause should be conscious. So Prakriti cannot be the cause. So they said, is it Prakriti? They're referring to the material, the efficient cause? No. Okay. So it is not Prakriti. It is the Lord only. That's what they're telling here, because the Lord is conscious. Okay. These verses indicate that only a conscious entity is the cause of the universe, because the Lord is coming to the material universe and is telling, he's glancing at the universe and is telling, he's not telling, he's just glancing and is thinking, let me be many, let me create progeny. Is thinking. Okay, so this is why you need the Acharya's commentaries. If you would have seen that the Srimad Bhagavatam, there it is said that the Lord, okay, no problem. So glanced, okay. So he doesn't even have to glance. If he desires, it's enough. That's why it's telling he glanced and said, he desired, let me be many, let me create progeny. Okay. So that is the Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.3. So these verses indicate that only a conscious entity is the cause of the universe, and thus the Lord is both the material cause and the efficient cause of the universe. Since, don't worry if you don't understand, since Prakriti is a Shakti of the Lord and the Shakti and possessor of the Shakti are non-different, the Lord is the material cause through Prakriti. Okay. So he is using Prakriti, but the Lord is the cause. Okay. Through Prakriti he is creating. And because Prakriti is also Shakti of the Lord, so Shakti and the possessor of Shakti are non-different. The Lord is the material cause through Prakriti. Okay. But the Lord remains unchanged in spite of being the material cause, because by his very nature, he transcends Prakriti. This is explained by the Lord. So though the Lord is coming to the material world and doing all this creation, but he is transcending Prakriti. Okay. He's not touched by this Prakriti, is not affected by this material nature. This is explained by the Lord. Prakritir yasyopadanam adhara purusha para sato bhivya jakaha kalo brahma tat tritayam tva aham. Prakriti is the material cause and the Purusha is the foundational cause. Okay. So Prakriti is the material cause and Purusha, that is the Supreme Lord, is the foundational cause. And time, the indirect cause, is agitator of Prakriti. I am all three. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.24.19. So the Supreme Lord says Prakriti is the material cause and the Purusha is the foundational cause. Okay. Time, the indirect cause, is agitator of Prakriti. I am all three. Clear? Okay. So the
Yes,
Lord
yes,
is,
Mataji.
yeah, the Lord is using the material matter. Okay. Through Prakriti is the material cause and Purusha is the foundational cause, and time, because at a particular time the jivas get agitated. So Mahavishnu is injecting them into the Prakriti. Okay. Into Pradhana. So then when he glances at the material world, material nature, at that time only they start, like, they start the various elements which are in the subtle form, they start combining and the creation starts taking place. Okay. So that is the time factors coming here. At the particular time, all this happens. So that is why time, the indirect cause. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am time. Okay. So all these are the Supreme Lord. Is agitator of Prakriti. I am all three. Scriptures does not state that Prakriti is the material cause independently, because it's unconscious. It is not a conscious entity. How can an unconscious thing do things by itself? Okay. The car cannot drive. Of course, if you put this thing, that it can drive, but something cannot do things for a machine. It will not do on its own. Somebody has to operate the machine. Okay. So the machine is jada. It is lifeless. It does not have any consciousness. Somebody has to press a button and then operate the machine. So who is this? That is the Purusha, that is the Supreme Lord, okay, who is doing this operation. So scripture does not state that Prakriti is the material cause independently. The Lord, conscious of all things, is alone the cause of the universe by his independence. Is Swarat, okay, is independent. Unconscious Prakriti, all these words are used in this verse, okay. Unconscious Prakriti is not the cause. Thus, the verse says that the Lord is fully conscious, abhijna, concerning all matters relating to the creation and destruction of all objects, arteshu. So, abhijna means the Lord is fully conscious okay. This statement illustrates the meaning of ikshate na shabdam. being described in the scriptures. The Lord is not beyond the description of words, though he remains beyond the material. Vedanta Sutra 1.1.5. So this statement illustrates the meaning of Ikshate Na Shabdam being described in the scriptures. The Lord is not beyond the description of words, though he remains beyond the material. So here they are referring to Vedanta Sutra 1.1.5. So all this information you're getting in Ikshate Na Shabdam, because you're getting this information from the scriptures. 1 second, I'll read this 1.1.5. Brahman is not, I'm reading from Vedanta Sutra 1.1.5. Brahman is not inexpressible because scriptural statements to the contrary are seen in the Upanishads. Okay, here what they're telling is Brahman means the Supreme Lord. Okay, you have to take according to the context. Here, Brahman means Supreme Lord. Is not inexpressible. You cannot say that we cannot express Brahman through words, because scriptural statements to the contrary are seen in the Upanishads. Because in the Upanishads, it's saying that we can describe the Lord through the words. Okay, that is what is Ikshate Na Shabdam. Here it is condensed. Now I told us sutras are in condensed form. Okay, the word Ashabdam means that which cannot be expressed by words. Brahman is not of that nature. Supreme Lord is not of that nature. Rather, it is expressible by words. Why? Because that is seen Ikshate in the Upanishads. Because we can see this in the Upanishads. It is said, Tattva Upanishadam Purusham Prichami. I asked the Lord who is described in the Upanishads, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Maharaj has translated all these Upanishads also. So gradually we will even refer that there also. Okay. But now if I keep on going like this, then already I'm elaborating so much on the first verse. So we will see that later. No problem when we are seeing the Upanishads. Wherever need the quote, wherever we need, we will see that. The Lord in question is seen to be described in the Upanishads. Okay, the form Ikshate from Ikshati instead of, okay, no problem. All this is not needed. You clearly understood. Ikshate Na Shabdam means this reference is there in the Upanishads where it says the Lord can be expressed through words. So this sutra is given in the Vedanta Sutra. Means we have the scriptural reference. Okay, so we refer from the scriptures and come to the conclusion. So that says that the Lord is beyond the, which refutes the point that the Lord is beyond the description of words. Okay, actually, he can be described by the words. Okay, though he remains beyond the material. Okay, because he's the pure Lord. He's got nothing to do with material, but still he can be described in words. The meaning of the sutra is this. The Brahman which was discussed is the cause of the universe. Why? Means here the Lord is the cause of the universe. Why? Because of seeing. Because we are seeing. Because of specialized conclusions arising from seeing. Or in other words, from hearing about the Lord in the statements of Shruti, which describe him as the cause of the universe. So how do you come to the conclusion? Because of seeing, because of specialized, where are we seeing? We are seeing through the scriptures. Because of specialized conclusions arising from seeing, or in other words, from hearing about the Lord in the statements of Shruti, which describe him as the cause of the universe. Okay, understood. Therefore, Brahman is not indescribable. It is not that the Lord cannot be proved by authoritative words. He can be proved by the scriptures. Okay. The Shrutis state that the conscious Lord is the cause. Now, the Shrutis, the Veda says that the conscious Lord, because the Lord is conscious, he is the cause. It is not Prakriti directly. Okay. Because the Prakriti is unconscious. So it says the Shrutis state that the conscious Lord is the cause. Tat aikshata bahusyam prajayeya. He glanced at Prakriti. May I become many. Let me create progeny. Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.3. So he glanced at Prakriti. The Lord glanced at Prakriti and he's thinking, may I become many. Let me create progeny. This is the reference from the scripture Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.3. Okay. Sad eva saumyedam agra asid. O gentle one, the eternal Lord existed before this universe. Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.1. Because Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. We recite this in the Brahma Samhita prayers, like, so what does that mean? The Supreme Lord Krishna is the Adi Bhagwan. He is there eternally. Is present in the past, future, and present, past, and future. Okay, so the Supreme Lord is eternal. So that the Chandogya Upanishad says, "O gentle one, the eternal Lord existed before this universe." So even before the creation of this universe is there. Okay, so Atma va idam eka. All this are given from the different Upanishads to state that the conscious Lord is the cause. Okay, for that they're giving all these various examples. Atma va idam eka eva. Before anything is there, the Lord was present. For that they're giving so many examples from the Upanishads. Atma va idam eka evagra asit. The Lord existed before this universe. Chandogya Upanishad 1.1.1. Tasmad va etasmad atmana akasha sambhuta. From the Lord arose the ether. Taittiriya Upanishad. Yato va imani bhutani jayante. From the Lord all creatures arise. Taittiriya Brahmana 1. And the Smriti says, so all these are concluding that the Lord existed before the creation of the universe. So he is the cause of this creation of the universe. Okay. And that is what they're telling. And the Smriti says, Yataha Sarvani Bhutani. I'll give you some time for doubts, okay? In the end. If you don't ask anything now, you can ask finally also. And don't think it's silly or something like that. Don't worry at all. And the Smriti says, Yataha, because we are not bothered about the world, okay? Let it be like, we want to attain Krishna. We want to serve Krishna. So we can no harm, like, in asking. Don't think it's something silly and what will people think, and don't forget about all that. And the Smriti says, Yatah sarvani bhutani bhavantyadi yugagame yasmimscha pralayam yanti punar eva yugakshaye. From the Lord, all creatures arise at the beginning of the first yuga, and in him they merge at the time of universal destruction. So the meaning of this Smriti statement is, verse is, from the Lord, all the creatures arise at the beginning of the first yuga, that is in the Satya Yuga. And in him they merge at the time of universal destruction. Again, all of us, all the jivas with their subtle matter, subtle body, they all merge into the body pose of Mahavishnu. So at the beginning, they arise at the beginning of first yuga, and in him they merge at the time of universal destruction. One may object that since the Mahat Tattva and other elements are not arisen, the Lord could not have a body which could perform actions. So there are people, atheists, they'll say, oh, okay, for the material world, you need so many ingredients, and the Mahat Tattva and other elements are not arisen. Okay, the Lord could not have a body which could perform actions. So therefore, this verse says that the Lord is independent, Swarat. Okay, in this verse, like, in the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, we have this. I told you now, you just focus on each and every word. Every word is important here. Swarat means therefore, this verse says that the Lord is independent. He's not dependent on something, some other ingredients, because he is the cause of everything. So why should he depend on something? He can always do anything and create it. Okay, so the Supreme Lord is independent. He controls everything by himself, Swayam Rajate, through his spiritual Swarupa, non-different from himself. Thus the Shruti says, Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate, swabhaviki jnana balakriya cha. In the Lord, there is no material cause and effect. He has his own inherent knowledge, strength, and action. Shweta Shvatara Upanishad 6.8. So, this is the reference from Shweta Shvatara Upanishad. All these Upanishads also, all the principal Upanishads, Banu Maharaj has translated into English. So if you want, you can always go and refer if you have the books. Otherwise, no problem. I'm just reading it here. In the Lord, there's no material cause and effect. Okay, because there is nothing material in the Lord. He is fully spiritual. He has his own inherent knowledge, strength, and action. Okay, he is Shweta, okay, he has his own inherent knowledge and he has his own strength and action. One may object that because he doesn't have to depend on anything, so they're telling this. One may object that in the creation of the universe, one should understand that Lord Brahma has independent powers. For in the Shruti it is said, Hiranya Garbha Samavartadagre Bhutasya Jatah Patir Eka Asit. Brahma was born before other creatures. He alone existed. Mahanarayana Upanishad 6. Therefore, Brahma should be the object of worship. Okay, so now people always are there to refute the statement. So one may object that the creation, that in the creation of the universe, one should understand that Lord Brahma has independent powers. Okay. For in the Shruti, it is said, Hiranya Garbha Samavartata Agre. Okay, all this Bhutasya Jata Patir Ekasit. Brahma was born before other creatures, it says. Okay. So he alone existed. Mahanarayana Upanishad says this. So should and say that Brahma is the creation, is the responsible for this primary creation. One should he has got, because Brahma has got independent powers. Okay. And also in the Shruti, it says like this, Hiranya Garbha Samavarta Tagre Bhutasya Jata Patirek Asit. See, when I already told you from Mahavishnu, like we get this Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Mahavishnu enters all the universes, then this Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, like, as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Okay, Mahavishnu enters the universes as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Garbhodakshaya, from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, from his navel, the entire, because all these Jiva Tattvas, like, they want to like get out, like, so that the navel, from the navel, the lotus is like injected out, like, then from that lotus, this Hiranyagarbha is like, first in the beginning, before the four-headed Brahma comes, this Hiranyagarbha comes. He's got all these jivas and all this matter, all this, everything is there, like, in that Hiranyagarbha form, like, and that is the seed actually. Okay, because all the jivas are there. And then only comes this Brahma, four-headed Brahma. Okay. Brahma was born before other creatures. He alone existed. Mahanarayana Upanishad 6. So therefore, Brahma should be the object of worship. The verse answers this objection in the second line. So because Brahma was the first creature and when he was there, nobody was there. So he should be the object of worship. But this verse answers this objection in the second line. So in our first verse, okay, in the last line, okay, the last three words. Satyam Param Dhimahi, okay. Okay, in the first verse, what I'm telling is the 1.1.1, the first verse of this Bhagavatam. In that, the last line, the last three words are Satyam Param Dhimahi. Okay, so it is the Lord, Satyam Param. So this verse answers this objection in the second line, where, no, 1 second. Okay, so Brahma is not the primary creator. Okay, so they're objecting that. Though he, like, he's a secondary, is born from the lotus, okay, of the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and though he's all alone at that point in time, actually he is not the primary creator. It is the Lord, okay, the Supreme Lord, who's addressed as Satyam Param, who revealed Tene the Vedas. So it is a Lord Satyam Param who revealed means Tene, the Vedas Brahma. Okay, no knowledge of himself to Brahma Adi Kavaye. That's why it says in the second line of the verse, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye Mukhyanti Yat Suraya. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. Tene means revealed, Vedas. Okay, Brahma means Vedas. Here, Vedas, Brahma means Vedas. Knowledge of himself to Brahma. Adi Kavaye. So Brahma is referred to as Adi Kavaye. And Brahma here means Vedas. So here, the Supreme Lord revealed the Vedas and the knowledge of himself to Brahma. Thus Brahma is dependent on the Lord. Okay. One may object that it is well known that Brahma did not study the Vedas from anyone. Okay, for this also they might raise the objection. Then they can say, no, Brahma, where is anybody for him to learn, teach the Vedas? No, nobody was there. So he got it by himself. No, that is not the case. One may object that it is well known that Brahma did not study the Vedas from anyone. That is true. He received it in his mind, Hridaye. That is stated in the Bhagavatam. Prachodita yena pura saraswati vitan Vastajasya satim smritim hridisva lakshana pradurabhut kilasyata Same rishinam rishabha prasidata. May the Lord, the best of the sages, be pleased with me. Inspired by him at the beginning of the Kalpa, Saraswati, whose aim is to reveal Krishna, appeared from the mouth of Brahma and reveal proper memory to carry out creation in his heart. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.22. So here it is said in this Srimad Bhagavatam verse, it says, may the Lord. So how did Brahma gain this Vedic knowledge? So how he gained, they're explaining here. May the Lord, the best of the sages, be pleased with me, because Brahma is praying to the Supreme Lord. He says, inspired by him at the beginning of the Kalpa, Saraswati, whose aim is to reveal Krishna, appeared from the mouth of Brahma and reveal proper memory to carry out creation in his heart. Okay. So it is Saraswati, like, at the beginning of the Kalpa, she wanted to reveal to Krishna, whose aim is to reveal Krishna, appear from the mouth of Brahma and reveal proper memory to carry out creation in his heart. So actually, Krishna, he plays the flute, okay, at that time. Actually, when he goes down, he gets the Bija mantra, okay, that is the with that that I cannot explain all those mantras. They are confidential. Okay, he gets this Krishna mantra. Okay, that one he gets, and then he meditates on that. So they tell you meditate on this mantra. He gets this voice. That is what the Saraswati can also be referred to as the voice. Of course, I am able to tell because I'm reading many Acharya's commentaries. From that, I'm telling. Okay, when I read those, you will also understand. Now you take it, because if I go on with references here and there, it is getting too much delayed. So here, that divine voice, you can keep that also as Saraswati. Okay, because there are so many nanarthas, so many meanings for this Saraswati. So at that time, he is getting that when he goes down, I told from when he's born, four-headed Brahma, he cannot see anything. Everything is dark. So he travels in space everywhere. He sees here, there, moves all around in space, and nothing he can find. Again, he goes down the stem of the lotus, stalk of the lotus, through that thing. He goes down, and he goes down to the lake that is on the Garbhodaksha Vishnu. And on the navel, there is a lake, okay? Lake of water. So he goes there, but he can't see the Supreme Lord. He can't see this navel. He can't see this water. He can't see anything. And again, he goes up. Of course, he gets this Bija mantra, and he gets this thing called tapa, means you meditate. So he gets this divine voice, and he goes up onto the lotus, and then he does meditate on this Krishna mantra. Okay. With that, after meditating for almost 100 years of his, for 1 millennium, he meditates. One day of Brahma itself is so many countless number of years. We can't, it's so huge, the number. So now what about, so Krishna is meditating for almost 100 years. In such a huge period of time, is meditating on Krishna. And finally, okay, he gets this Gayatri mantra, the flute, from the flute of Krishna. He hears the flute sound, and that enters his ears. And then from his mouth, he has got 4 mouths now, because this Brahma in our universe is seeing in all the directions. He's not finding anything. Everywhere it's dark. So he's got 4 faces. Okay, so he's got 4 mouths. So all this also is explained in another commentary. Okay, please, now you keep it this much. Okay. So this Brahma, he then through the years, he gets this, through these 4 mouths. From the years, it enters his mouth as this Vedas. Okay, all the 3 Vedas. Now, I don't know why 3 Vedas, even I do not know why the 4th Veda is not mentioned there. But any case, the Vedas are coming out of Brahma's mouths. Okay, so appeared from the mouth of Brahma and reveal proper memory to carry out creation in his heart. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.22. So this is the Gayatri. It's not the Brahma. That is not the Gayatri. It is the Krishna. This is the Kama Gayatri. Okay. This is based on Krishna, Kama Gayatri. So with this is getting the knowledge which has got the bija, like, Kama Bija. Okay, the Gayatri which has got the in the beginning the Kama Bija. This is the Kama Gayatri. Okay, all this also Bhanu Maharaj has translated Gayatri Vyakya. All, where is that book? Yeah, of course, if you see that, you will not understand, but it's okay. I'm telling you, because the 3 books on Gayatri Mantra, there is the Gayatri Vyakya, Kama Gayatri Vyakya, Mantrata Deepika. So Maharaj is even translated all these also. So by referring so many things, I'm just telling you easily. So by getting this Kama Gayatri, then, okay, which is revealed, to Brahma through his heart. And okay, so that is how he's getting the knowledge to create this. He's empowered to create the universe. Now he's getting knowledge. If we want to do something, one small creation itself, how much knowledge we need. He's creating the universe. He's creating all the planetary systems and everything. So of course, the bodies, everything is already there. The template, everything is there. He simply has to do the secondary creation, just put them in place. That's all. Okay, Brahma's job is that much. As well, Sudrishtam Shridime. Okay, I'll stop 1 second. Okay, I'll finish with this. As well, Sudrishtam Shridime Tadaiva. Why did I not see him in my heart at that time? Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.15. The meaning of the Gayatri Mantra was revealed to him by that method. It is said in the Matsya Purana 53.20. Yatra. So he's telling Brahma is telling, why didn't I see that time? Why did I not see him in my heart at that time? Only now, after meditating for almost a millennium, for 100 years almost, for the lifetime of Brahma, then only he's seeing Krishna in his heart. He's seeing the Supreme Lord in his heart. So he's asking, why I went down? Okay, and I came up. Why didn't I see like the Lord at that time? So the meaning of the Gayatri Mantra was revealed to him by that method. It is said in the Matsya Purana 53.20, Yatradikritya Gayatrim Varnyate Dharma Vistara Vritasura Vadhopetam Tad Bhagavatam Ishyate. He spoke the Bhagavatam in which the killing of Vritrasura is described, and where after starting with Gayatri, Dharma is elaborately described. So he spoke the Bhagavatam now, in which the killing of Vritrasura is described, and where after starting with Gayatri, Dharma is elaborately described. So in Matsya Purana, we have got reference to this Bhagavatam. Okay, because you cannot say this Bhagavatam is some new thing created. No, this is an ancient thing which is eternal. And so even in Matsya Purana, these Puranas are all like, the 5th Veda. Okay, these commentaries and these Puranas, all these are the 5th Veda. So it is eternal. Okay, so in the Matsya Purana, it is stated that though is a Smriti, these are all eternal. Okay, so in that it is stated, there is a mention of Bhagavatam, reference to the Bhagavatam, in which they're telling this Bhagavatam has got references like killing of Vritasura. The instances which are described in the Bhagavatam, they're telling killing of Vritasura is described. And there also it's talking about Gayatri. After starting with Gayatri, Dharma is elaborately described. So in the Matsya Purana, there's a reference to Bhagavatam in which it is telling this Bhagavatam is talking about Gayatri in the first verse, means in the beginning, and then it's slowly elaborating about Dharma. Okay, so this much. So that is the Gayatri Mantra. Okay, so now I will stop here. Any doubts you can ask?
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
Understood a little bit at least, no, Mataji? Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you so much. Prabhuji, any doubt you can ask if you can unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself for Dayasindu Prabhuji. Yeah, you already unmuted. Krishnan Prabhuji, you can also unmute if you want to ask something. Yes, Dayasindu Prabhuji, any doubts, Prabhuji?
No much, no, Mataji.
Okay, no, Prabhuji? Okay. At least something you understood, no? Okay. Okay. Krishnan Prabhuji?
No doubt.
Okay. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.